Good morning everyone. I am Gayatri Manwade, lecturer in ADFT GPW Hubli. Today I am going to give you a session on figure drawing and this is the 7th session. Shading. Importance of pencil shading. For any kind of drawing sketches, figure sketches and artistic sketches, we require to know how to shade it, or else we have to learn the proper technique how to shade. So just what is its importance? Pencil shading plays a major role in realistic art. It can be defined as an art used to show the depth of the subject or the drawing. So by using the pencil shading techniques, the drawing can be enhanced with the two-dimensional weave or else three-dimensional weave. Drawing is the imaginative piece of art on the dimensional material, while the real subject is three-dimensional with the value addition as well as contrast additions to it. Thus, shading is a technique which takes your drawing to the next level, giving it a realistic appeal. Smooth shading involves usage of soft strokes which helps in defining effective and most realistic shapes and pictures. Stippling, which is also known as pointillism, a similar technique as that of cross-hatching, where the criss-cross lines are replaced by spots close to each other and further apart accordingly. Just go through these three different images of different shading techniques, and in this dots and spots are used as a shading technique. Now, value and contrast. This is term which denotes the illusion of light. It's easy to get caught up in the technique in which the material is applied and lose sight of the reason why we apply shading in the first place. Light is how we see. After all, the shading informs us of the light within a scene. We understand the light within the scene through the use of value and contrast. What is value? Value is nothing but it is the darkness or lightness of color what it will show us. Light values are called tints and dark values are called as shades. And contrast deals with the difference. Contrast is produced when any difference between elements such as texture, color, size and value occurs within that certain drawing area. It can be subtle or extreme when it comes to shading. We are mostly concerned with the contrast that is produced and it changes in value. Now, value is nothing but in which area the brightness occurs or the darkness occurs. So, we should have a just imagination. If we stand in front of light, on which area the light will be focused or the light hits any object. If the lights hit any object, that area will be called as value, taken as the value of that light, and the opposite direction of the light in that particular object will be considered as the contrast area. So, the contrast area have to be shaded particularly. When the light hits the object, it produces range of contrasting values. The intensity of the light determines the contrast of values. Generally, the stronger the light, the higher the contrast. If the light will be strong enough, then the contrast area will be strong, higher in contrast. Many objects are hollow or have recesses. To address objects or figures such as these, we simply consider the direction of light, how it passes. On that imagination ground, we can shade our drawings or figures, what we sketch. If the light is coming from certain direction, then it should continue until it hits an object. Until it doesn't hit any object, it will be flowing or it will be arretting. If the object is hollow, then the light will enter it, recess. The hollow part of any object or any things, the light will get into the recession part, producing an area of lighter value inside of it. Shadows are created on the opposite side of the edge of the recess closest to the light source. Now, while the softer B pencils are generally considered as the best for shading purpose, there is no reason to discount the harder H pencils. The HB and H are good choices for fine light even shading. However, they too have drawbacks. No doubt, if anything is good in one object or one particular equipment or tool, good things will be there and bad things will be there. Example, advantages as well as disadvantages. Pencil grades from HB through H, 2H to 5H and progressively harder are easier to keep sharp. So, we should make sure that before using any pencils, they should be sharpened enough. People who want to express themselves artistically use soft pencils and hardness grades 2B and to 8B pencils. You can make expressive drawings with them. Each are very rich in contrast. Hard pencils are good for technical drawing purpose. They are excellent with hardness grades H, 2H to 6H. All drawing pencils feel different to work with and have unique properties that determine how your drawing will look. So, on the basis of usage of different technical pencils as well drawing shading pencils, as they are having different properties for each. So, on that properties we have to use what properties we require for our drawing shading. In this guide, I will introduce you to most common pencils used for realistic drawings. The realistic drawing pencils are shadow edge pencils, half tone, reflected light, full light, blending and rendering, hatching, cross hatching, stippling. These are the different techniques of shadings. On the what kind of shading we are going to prefer for our drawings. With this basic things, we can select our pencils. Thank you so much. I hope you all have understood what are the different types